Hey folks, this is Alerting Live. Holy cow. Lately, if you look at the kind of weather that's been crisscrossing the United States, mostly in the central states of Texas, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Tennessee, some of the deep southern states, Mississippi, Alabama, it seems like we've had a never-ending bout of severe weather. I know in northern Texas, they've reported hail the size of softballs and had winds blowing in excess of 70 to 80 miles an hour. It's like a land-based hurricane system. It's affecting crops. It's destroying people's homes and their automobiles. I mean, you ever wonder why insurance rates are going so high on everybody? Well, it's because of these never-ending, relentless storms. And oh, by the way, the NOAA just published this year's hurricane forecast. And we're supposed to have a more active season than normal, with at least 5 major storms, major being defined as Cat 3 or higher, that will make a mainland fall potentially on the coast of the United States. So what does one do as we look out? And if you're in potentially one of these areas that could be affected by a hurricane, we all seem to be affected by storms, and whether your home takes an immediate shot or hit or not, if you're in the vicinity where a power transformer goes down, whether your home is directly hit or not, if you lose power, then it can become a real issue, especially as the summer months come on in and the temperatures rise and things get a lot hotter. I know here in San Antonio, the temperature can get very warm this time of year, and then you throw in the humidity and that heat index just goes through the roof. So what have I done? Well, I have plussed my pantry up with non-perishable kinds of items. In other words, items that don't need long-term refrigeration or a freezer. Canned items, canned vegetables, canned meats, such as Spam, such as tuna fish, things that can survive some temperature gradient if they're kept in-house and not exposed to direct sunlight where they can possibly spoil. And these are things that we keep on hand, as well as some canned vegetables and some bottles of fruit. We have a generator that I can start if I need to keep my refrigerator at least running for a while, as long as there's gas availability. In some hard hit areas, gas at your local station may dry out rather quickly. I remember when I was active duty in the Army and we had a severe ice storm go through one of the installations that we were stationed at. It knocked out all the power for days and days. People who could afford to go downtown and get a hotel left their quarters and went downtown and got a hotel. Because of the position that I was in at the time, a leader position, I wasn't allowed to leave the installation. So my family and I had to camp out. Now, what did we use for heat? Well, I had a portable kerosene stove that we used. I had a propane stove set up out of my garage that we could cook food on. And we used little portable lanterns that were battery powered to have light in the evening time. The little kerosene stove that we had, and of course we had to keep windows open to ventilate. And it was a clean burning mixture that you could use for indoors. Kept our house at about 50 degrees, or with some extra clothing, coats. We could live in there comfortably, and the pipes wouldn't freeze up on us. So we also learned that when the power goes out and takes out a whole community, credit cards, ATM use, things that we normally transact business with day to day, really became of no use. You had to have cash to be able to go and pay with $5 and $10 bills, uh, what it was that you needed from a store, because they couldn't transact credit cards or debit cards, and you couldn't, even pull cash from an ATM. So we learned to have a little bit of cash on hand for these kind of emergencies too. So as we see more of these storms that seem to be not ending lately sweep across the central United States, affecting millions and knocking out power and destroying automobiles and homes with, giant-sized hail, okay? And we know that the hurricane season is ramping up and will run through November. Now is the time to take a look at what you need for your family, what you can share with your neighbors too. It's not just about you alone, but what we can share with each other to pull ourselves through a difficult situation. So I challenge each of you over the next couple of weeks, and I know that the cost of things at the store are going up. We shop and buy our food the same way that you do. But even if on a limited budget you can buy a couple of extra cans of tuna fish, add that to your long-term storage, or a couple of cans of Spam, or some extra corn and beans, some fruit cocktail mix, whatever it is that your family eats and will eat. If you can add some of that now and build that over time, then if disaster strikes your area or community, you'll be better prepared. Now remember, FEMA has counseled all of us to have at least a 72-hour backup emergency kit for emergencies. Water is super important, okay, because water supplies can be contaminated too. And it's very inexpensive. I mean, you can go to Sam's or Costco or even Walmart and buy a 40-count bottle of a case of bottled water for $4 or $5. So you definitely want to have some bottled water to see you through as well. So I'm preparing. I continue to prepare. It's not just about me, but it's also about my neighbors that live to the left and right. And together we'll share and pool what we have to get through the next emergency that comes through our area. More to follow out here.